Those who fled are being hunted, and those foolish enough to remain have been executed.
Do you see all that I have done?
Destiny 2 feels both immediately familiar and strikingly different. Familiar in the sense that what you're chasing after, what you're shooting at, and how you're shooting at it are components nearly identical to their original Destiny counterparts. Yet Destiny 2 is a more focused game, one that appears intent on giving players plenty to do. At least, that's what it seems like from our time progressing a hunter to level 20 during a recent hands-on event. The storytelling is also more direct and abundant, both with its main narrative centered on a growling villain named Ghaul, as well as how the game cleverly contextualizes the innumerable activities players can participate in. It's evident that Bungie recognizes the areas where the first game is weakest, and they're addressing those weaknesses head-on. At the same time, there's also a deep love and admiration for everything the first game did well, and a clear intent to make those elements even stronger. In the original Destiny, particularly before any of the DLC, there's a frustrating suggestiveness to the storytelling, as if the game is insinuating a great deal about the motivations of its various factions and their history without ever developing them in a way that's easy to follow. The bulk of the lore is relegated to grimoire cards that must be accessed outside of the game itself to read.
Your light is mine.
Destiny 2 does not share that issue, quickly establishing a scenario that's personal and easily understandable, abandoning the grimoire approach. The aforementioned Ghaul steals the Traveler and Light away from the Guardians. Essentially, he robs you and the rest of the heroes of the very energy that makes you special in the first place. While being stripped of power is not a new or novel plot device within games, it nonetheless provides a clear motivation for moving forward. Ghaul gets progressively more interesting over time. As you complete story missions, you'll be periodically rewarded with scenes that specifically develop his character and the reasons he has for his actions. Having such an identifiable face to work against, one whose reasons are sufficiently justified, goes a long way in providing meaning to leveling and getting stronger.
This is great. Anyone want a hug? No hugs.
Even more effective than the central villain is the overall tone that Destiny 2 cultivates amongst its various activities. The game doesn't take itself too seriously, happily injecting humor when appropriate. Much of the humor comes from banter between two characters who poke at each other in a way that only friends can, feeling natural and rarely overwritten. To the game's credit, Destiny 2 never becomes too jokey, creating an atmosphere that successfully and frequently alternates between drama and comedy, making it easy to want to get invested in the story, as well as to simply hang out with friends and shoot things.
Perhaps they are attempting to interface with the friendly ghost, and you, Captain, are in their way.
I'm so sorry. I'll fix this.
As far as shooting goes, Destiny 2's activities are fairly diverse. Adventures function as brief endeavors, roughly 10 to 15 minutes in length, with straightforward objectives, such as eliminating a group of enemies, collecting samples, riding around on vehicles, etc. The sheer variety of activities, in addition to their brevity and witty writing, ensures that it's simple to get sucked into adventures and enjoy them in quick succession.
That artillery cannon will be offline for minutes. I mean weeks, I think.
The Cabal never were very good at details. Good thing for us.
While exploring a planet, you may stumble upon a symbol designating a lost sector, a sort of mini-dungeon with a small group of enemies, a boss, and a loot reward at the end. The lost sectors we've encountered so far are not particularly difficult to find, but they do serve as a welcome change of pace from the scripted story missions and adventures. It's just another element that contributes to the carefully constructed flow of Destiny 2. There's plenty to do without getting burned out on any one thing. No activity lasts too long, and there's a steady flood of new, more powerful weapons and gear to try out. In a game that very much wants to get its hooks into you, Destiny 2 seems to have refined the art of enticing players forward without becoming a monotonous grind. At least in the 30 or so hours that we've played. For all the criticisms levied against the original Destiny, the quality of the shooting is rarely one of them. The same is true of Destiny 2. Although a difficult thing to precisely articulate, the game does an admirable job of making each weapon distinct and easy to maneuver. The visual and audio cues from enemies help sell your power as a player, whether it's popping the head off a burly Cabal soldier or blowing up the Vex. Although it's tempting to find a favorite category of weapon and stick to it, almost everything can be used to great effect. Nearly every type of weapon has clear situations where it's more effective than other options, so the decision of what to bring into battle is appropriately challenging. After the Destiny 2 beta, there was a reasonable concern about the scarcity of power ammo, and it's a problem that feels resolved in the full game. Ammunition for these weapons is readily available, but never so overwhelming that it loses value. Choosing when to slash away with the sword or fire a shotgun is still an important decision. Similar to the weapons themselves, class abilities are expectedly flashy. As a hunter, whipping lightning at foes or blasting away with a golden gun is greatly empowering, especially when clearing an entire horde at once. Although we were asked not to spoil the intricacies of how classes evolve, specifically the abilities earned and how they combine with one another, there do appear to be plenty of worthwhile surprises in store.
Fire down. Eat that.
As inorganic networked intelligences, Vex are not capable of digestion.
Yeah, thanks. Eat that anyway. Inorganic networked intelligences.
Those expecting Destiny 2 to be wildly different from the first game will go in disappointed. It's not a rejection of the original, but a strong embrace. Instead of rethinking Destiny, Bungie has made it a sharper experience. The more direct story creates an approachable starting point, but there also seems to be more than enough to dig into for those that know exactly what they're doing. What's unclear is how Destiny 2 will fare in the long term, once everybody has reached the level 20 cap and gone through the raid that launches a week after release. It's hard to say with any sort of certainty whether or not the game will be compelling months from now. What is clear is that Destiny 2 has a lot to offer up front, enough that we're more than ready to commit ourselves for now.
Well, that was as good as advertised.